Well, everybody, it's the end of November, and we're fast approaching the end of the year with the eve, kind of the critics groups, is what I like to call them here in the Oscar race. You can kind of tell I'm my voice isn't all up to snuff there. I'm kind of getting over a head cold here, so if every once in a while my voice starts to go a little bit, that's why. Um, every once in a while I have to clear my throat because there's just so much junk in there, which kind of sucks. And unfortunately, this started like the day before Thanksgiving, so I didn't get to spend any time with my family over the holiday. But you don't care about that, anyways. But yeah, this is what I'm here for. We're here to talk about Oscars. Let's say I can now give a few more solid predictions for the technical categories, below the line of screenplay and animated and all that. And I do have I think we'll do a count here too, as far as how many nominations each film is going to get there. Okay, I believe actually I totaled that up not too long ago, but I don't have it anymore. Okay, we'll start fresh on that. Anyways, we'll also get into kind of the award season calendar for what's coming up over the next week or two. We'll take a look at. I want to share my Golden Globe predictions as well. I've been pretty quiet about them for a while, so let's take a look at those as well. And yeah, so let's get started. Let's get this show on the road here. Okay, and let's actually start with the kind of at the bottom of the categories there, which is best visual effects. I think this one early out. I think the favorite here is Jungle Book, which I have at number one. I have Rogue One in there. I have Fantastic Beasts in there, Doctor Strange, and Captain America: Civil War in there. We do have some more potential, Best Picture nominees in there, like Arrival, which I think has a decent shot. Sully has a decent shot of getting in. Um, what's it called? The Monster Calls, I think, has a decent chance of getting in. So there's a few other possibilities there, but those I think early out are kind of some of the favorites there. I'll move on to the sound mixing category, which I have going to La La Land. Usually the musical wins this. Les Mis won this. Whiplash from a couple years ago. Usually when there's a movie musical, that's good enough, they'll give it this award. You can go back to Bird in the '80s won this. Ray from 2004 won. So I think La La Land, that's a sizable goal for that to win. Hacksaw Ridge I have in second place there. Rogue One in third. Jungle Book in fourth, and Silence in fifth. We have a couple other possibilities like Live by Night, or Live by Night, I guess is what they're calling it. Fantastic Beasts, Captain America, Doctor Strange, kind of some of those again. Could be some potential favorites there. Sound editing, however, usually goes to, like the big war movies or the big spectaculars. So in this case, I have Hacksaw Ridge in first with Rogue One in second. Then La La Land, I think, does get in. Jungle Book, I have in fourth. Silence in fifth. Again, like Arrival, Live by Night, Fantastic Beasts, Doctor Strange, Captain America, all those are in the hunt there as well. For Best Original Score, I have La La Land in first. Usually when and it's been a long time since we've had a musical here, original musical that's not based off of Broadway or off-Broadway musicals there. But clear back, you go back to the 40s, 50s, they had a Best Musical Score, Best Contemporary Score, or Best Original Score, kind of equivalent back then. It's been a while since we've had an original score that's also a musical score. So this one, yeah, I doubt they're going to give it a special award for Best Musical Score, or Best Choreography, or other categories they used to have. No, I think this one will just be La La Land. Then I have Rogue One in second, Silence in third, Jackie in fourth, and Arrival in fifth. Johan Johansson's been very popular lately with the Oscars, so I think he gets in. Even though I think there's a better shot for films like BFG, which is John Williams, Jungle Book, even Hacksaw Ridge has an outside shot of getting in there too. So that's one to that could go in a few different ways there. Okay, what's next? Best production design. I have La La Land in first, Jungle Book in second, Silence in third, Jackie in fourth, and Fantastic Beasts in fifth. Let's see. Some other favorites here are Live by Night, Rogue One, Hacksaw Ridge, Doctor Strange, just to name a couple there. But you'll excuse me. you'll notice that like La La Land, right away we're getting all those nominations here, and a lot of them are first place or second place votes. Jungle Book's been mentioned quite a bit so far, and then Silence and Jackie. Here you'll hear more of them later here too. For makeup and hair styling, I have Jackie out front, followed by Silence, followed by Fantastic Beasts. I think Rogue One has a shot. Hacksaw Ridge definitely has a good shot. Florence Foster Jenkins has a shot. Doctor Strange, Star Trek Beyond are a couple other ones there. We will get a short list. I think they bring it down to 7 potential nominees in December. So we'll find out soon. But usually there's a heavy front runner which gets knocked off, like Rush and The Butler were kind of neck and neck for 2013. Both of them got knocked off that short list, so we got left with Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa and a couple others there. Who ended up winning that? Shoot, who was it? Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, but that was kind of a silly race. Into the Woods got knocked out for 2014. Last year wasn't so bad. I think like Mad Max was an early front runner. People were like, "Oh, that's going to get knocked," but nope, that ended up winning. So that's that category. We'll move on to film editing. Again, La La Land in first, Silence in second, Jackie in third, Hacksaw Ridge in fourth, which I think might even get bumped up to second or third place, and then Moonlight I have in fifth. Definitely a good shot for Jungle Book, Live by Night, and Arrival. I think has a decent shot of getting in there too. And we can't forget Rogue One because Force Awakens made it into film editing last year, which completely knocked us all out. I had that spot going to The Martian or a couple other films looked like they were going to get it first. But then I thought about you get films like Hunt for Red October every once in a while, Top Gun, kind of these bigger action movies that if it hits them right, the Academy goes for them. Usually they don't win, but they like Dances with Wolves won over Hunt for Red October, and there's other examples there. But yeah, that was one where I kind of thought about it. I'm like, yeah, whenever you get a high octane, blockbuster like that the Academy kind of has a liking to, which they kind of did with Star Wars last year, it can get in. Okay, then we move on to costume design. Again, La La Land in first, Jackie in second, Live by Night in third, Silence in fourth, and Fantastic Beasts in fifth place. Florence Foster Jenkins, I think, is a big threat here. Rules Don't Apply, I've heard, has some great costumes. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, I believe that's Colleen Atwood. She usually gets into this. Rogue One and Doctor Strange are also possibilities there. Okay, then we get to probably the most competitive of the technical awards here, and that's going to be cinematography. We have La La Land in first. I have Arrival in second, Silence in third, Jackie in fourth, Live by Night in fifth. But then you've got Moonlight, Jungle Book, Fantastic Beasts, Hacksaw Ridge, Doctor Strange, Rogue One, the BFG, Hail Caesar, which is Roger Deakins. You get all these beautiful looking movies. You only got 5 slots. That's one that might be hard to whittle down to 5 because right away I think La La Land, sure has a good shot of winning it. But then you look at Silence, just released their first trailer. Looks like the cinematography is going to be gorgeous. Arrival, that's Bradford Young, who's up and coming. He's doing the Han Solo movie next. He did Selma, Most Violent Year, which were 2 very well shot films. And so yeah, that's one. You'll hear me say Silence quite a bit here. Yeah, and Jackie quite a bit. There's more of that to come. Okay, now we'll move on to kind of the bigger categories here. There's not too many changes, but we'll go through them here. We'll have Best Original Screenplay first. That's Manchester by the Sea in first, La La Land in second, Moonlight in third, Jackie in fourth, and 20th Century Women in fifth. Then there's Loving, Hell or High Water, Zootopia, The Lobster, and let's just leave it at that. I have those as alternates there. But yeah, I did see. I got a chance to see Loving over the weekend though. And that was one, managed to see that of all films. That's a nice little movie. It's Mike Nichols, or not Mike Nichols, sorry. God, his name escapes me now. Crap, what's his name? I forget what it is now. Is it Jeff Nichols? Yeah, it's a relative of his or whatever. I haven't seen any of his previous work, but this was one, that was he did a good job on it. Joel Edgerton and Ruth Negga are excellent. And yeah, while nothing personally for me stood out about the screenplay, that was definitely one where I was like, yeah, that has a decent shot of getting in. And yeah, I have it. Yeah, it getting nominated a couple other places there. Okay, moving on to adapted screenplay. I have Fences in first, Silence in second, Arrival in third, Lion in fourth, and Nocturnal Animals in fifth place. I've heard Love and Friendship, Hidden Figures have an outside shot here. Hacksaw Ridge has a decent shot. Not, I don't think it's going to get way too much in the respect of screenplay, but yeah, after you take out those top three, it's kind of weaker competition there. Usually these fill right up with Best Pictures or really worthy nominees like Steve Jobs. I thought would get in here last year, ended up not making the cut. But that was one where it's like, sure, it didn't look like it was going to be a strong Best Picture contender, but yeah, it looked the screenplay was just excellent in that. I have A Monster Calls, Sully, Live by Night, or a couple other ones that I think have a decent shot of getting in. Okay, we'll move on now to Best Supporting Actress. I have moved out Viola Davis into first place for Fences. Early Bird, it has screened now for some LA uh, critics and industry people. There's an embargo on the movie, so there's no official reviews yet, but all the word of mouth says Viola Davis has this thing almost under lock and key already. I still say Michelle Williams has a decent shot of winning for Manchester by the Sea. I've heard second place there. Then I have Naomi Harris, in third for Moonlight. Nicole Kidman I still have in there for Lion, and I have moved out Kristen Stewart after seeing Billy Lynn's long halftime boredom fest, and have moved in Greta Gerwig instead for 20th Century Women. I still ended up liking that Billy Lynn's movie, but yeah, I can understand how some people just didn't go for it. Okay, then for supporting actor, I have Mahershala Ali in first place for Moonlight. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but close enough. Lucas Hedges in second for Manchester by the Sea. Liam Neeson in third for Silence. Jeff Bridges in fourth for Hell or High Water. And I've put in kind of an oddball pick here, but Stephen Henderson for Fences. Again, just off of that word of mouth there, he's evidently the best shot for Best Supporting Actor. Dev Patel has moved into supporting for Lion. I wasn't sure, I hadn't heard too much about it, but evidently he's only in it enough not to be, even though he'll be the top build, he's going to be supporting. They'll go like that sometimes. Michael Shannon has a decent shot for Nocturnal Animals. He's about the strongest bet I think the movie has outside of maybe screenplay. I'm still hearing some word on Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Jenkins. I wouldn't count him out totally. So yeah, there's a few other possibilities there. Move on to lead actress. I have Natalie Portman still out front for Jackie, with Emma Stone in a strong second place for La La Land. Then Ruth Negga for Loving, Annette Bening in fourth place for 20th Century Women. I might bump her up later. And I have kind of a sideways, not always, not expected pick in Isabelle Huppert to get in for Elle. You look at Charlotte Rampling last year in 45 Years, Marion Cotillard for 2 Days, 1 Night, Emmanuel Riva for Amour in 2012. The best actress slot, usually they'll put in, your more well-known actresses, and then they'll put in somebody that you're like, oh, I didn't, somebody totally off the radar. And I think Isabelle Huppert fits the bill there. However, I still think, there's a strong possibility that we have Amy Adams take that slot. Strong possibility for Meryl Streep. Jessica Chastain could steal that spot. Yeah, I'm thinking after that we're getting, there's a couple other picks here and there that are like, oh, okay, maybe an outside shot, but yeah, I'm thinking those four, Nega, Benning, Stone, and Portman are almost 100% guaranteed unless somebody else comes up and just keeps stealing one of their spots. And looking at the calendar there, we have last year it was SAG, which is Screen Actors Guild, was first, and then Golden Globes were the next day. However, this year we're going to get, believe it or not, the Critics' Choice Awards are going to have their award show in December. Usually they only announce in late December, but they're, believe it or not, tomorrow, today's the 28th, I'm recording this, tomorrow they're getting their nominations out. Or is that, no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Tomorrow is the National Board of Review, there we go. And then the first is the Critics' Choice nominations announced. So it's later this week. And yeah, they're going to have their award show already on the 12th, so that's pretty surprising. or on the 11th, excuse me. The 12th are Golden Globes, which are getting out in front this year. Then a couple days later is the Screen Actors Guild. Uh, and usually, yeah, we'll get to see like Jennifer Aniston had a strong push after she got into all three. Back in 2014, we had last year Michael Shannon got into all three for 99 Homes. Ended up he ended up not getting nominated for anything else after that. But yeah, if we have somebody like Amy Adams who looks like she's a good shot for all these and then gets knocked out, same with Ruth Negga, same with Annette Bening, where they just can't make it, then somebody like Taraji P Henson in Hidden Figures has a little buzz to her, or Meryl Streep could end up still getting that slot. So that's one probably the biggest mystery as far as who the a solid guess on who the nominees are going to be. Uh, I would say, other than Stone and Portman, I mean, those two are almost 100% guaranteed, with Bening and Nega being right beneath that, probably in the 80 to 65% certainty. But then, but we were saying similar stuff last year about other contenders in this category and in other categories. Like Michael Keaton. The whole time we were saying, oh yeah, he's going to win this thing for supporting actor for Spotlight. Ended up getting skunked. So yeah. Okay, then move on to Best Actor. I have Denzel Washington in first for Fences, Casey Affleck in second for Manchester by the Sea, Ryan Gosling in third for La La Land, Joel Edgerton in fourth for Loving, and I have Andrew Garfield in for Hacksaw Ridge in fifth place. That's another one where he's kind of competing against himself, though, because Silence, I guess he's going to go lead for that as well. Yeah, right away I'm thinking Paramount has quite a few films in it. They have Arrival, they have Fences, and Silence in there. So I don't see all three getting into Best Picture. I see maybe one or two of them getting in for Best Actor. Fences for sure, but I think they're going to have to put all their money on Denzel for that category, and. Kind of the same thing there with if Viola was going to go lead for Fences, then they could put all of that support there. But I think instead they're going to put all of their support. You could almost branch out the different categories there. They'll put all their support for Best Actor into Denzel, for Best Actress into Amy Adams, for Supporting Actor into Liam Neeson, for Supporting Actress into Viola Davis for Fences. So yeah, I think this spreading that around. I think Silence is going to get all their big push is going to be on Liam. And not Adam Gosling. Sorry, what the hell? Who the hell is Adam Gosling? Adam Driver, who's also in the movie, has a little bit of buzz, but Liam's going to overtake him there. Tom Hanks is still getting talked about a lot for Sully. Michael Keaton has a little bit of buzz about him with The Founder. Reviews are coming out with that. Kind of wishy-washy, but I've heard he's still one of the better parts of it. Warren Beatty for Rules Don't Apply. I haven't seen the movie, but all the good press is on him and his performance. And that's in front of the camera, not behind the camera. Jake Gyllenhaal has an outside shot for Nocturnal Animals. Matthew McConaughey in Gold maybe could surprise us. We weren't putting him ahead this early out for Dallas Buyers Club. We thought maybe he has a shot at getting in, but yeah, then he won the Globe, and then that took off. So, so yeah, that's that. Let's see, we didn't mention animated feature yet. Let's discuss that a little bit. I have Zootopia in first place there. I have Finding Dory in second. Kubo and the Two Strings in third. Moana in fourth. And I put the Little Prince in for fifth place there. Moana, after its strong performance at the box office, great critical reception, great fan reception, there's a chance this thing wins the Best Animated Feature. I definitely think the box office numbers for Finding Dory are very strong and will help support that film. Zootopia, I think, is still, just by a slight margin, the best reviewed critically. And then Kubo, I think, is that kind of outside shot, the way Paranorman kind of had a dog in the fight a couple years ago. Less, it's less like the Box Trolls, which was kind of in there and lucky to be there, I believe they're all from the same animation company there. Okay, move on to Best Director. I have Damien Chazelle getting in for La La Land in first place, Kenneth Lonergan in second, Scorsese in third place for Silence, Barry Jenkins in fourth place for Moonlight, and Pablo Larraín for Jackie in fifth place. But there is a strong possibility Denzel gets his first directing nomination for Fences. He's also producer on the film, so he could get the top three. If you label them that way, the top three categories he could get nominated for. Ang Lee, I think, has a slight chance to get in, but yeah, after seeing his directorial choices on Billy Lynn, no, I think he's out. There, yeah, Jeff Nichols for Loving. Yeah, I think he's an outside possibility. Denis Villeneuve. I still don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, but Arrival has a shot there. Mel Gibson, I think, has a shot for getting in for Hacksaw Ridge, and Ben Affleck has a little bit of buzz to him with Live by Night, which I can't remember if they said that has screened or not, but I think it has. But it's been very quiet on that one, so we'll see where that one goes. Okay, and now for the top category, Best Picture. La La Land I have in first, followed by Manchester by the Sea, Fences in third, Silence in fourth, Jackie in fifth, Moonlight in sixth, Loving I still have there in seventh place. Eighth place I have going to 20th Century Women, ninth place is Hacksaw Ridge, and in 10th place, Lion. So I took out Arrival, took out Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. We've got a couple, like I said, Arrival is not totally out of the picture yet. Sully, Hidden Figures, Hell or High Water. Billy Lynn has an very, very long shot at this point. Live by Night has, a little buzz to it. Patriots Day also premiered at AFI Fest to pretty positive reviews. So I think that has a little bit of buzz to it, but at the moment I don't have it get nominated for anything, but that could soon change. We'll see how the public reacts to it. See, maybe it gets into a couple critics' choices. We'll see, how the canon goes on that one. If they're shooting in the way of all La La Land and all that. Anyways, but yeah, so National Board of Review is tomorrow. National Board, last I heard, there's still kind of that collegiate level the educational branch anymore, where they're college kids or undergrads, kind of that level of voting body there. So we'll see what they go with. Like last year, they went with Mad Max Fury Road, which sure got nominated for picture, but didn't win. They went with Most Violent Year in 2014, which got skunked at the Oscars. So they're not totally reliable. But I see a possibility for something like Hacksaw Ridge or I think Arrival has been very strong word of mouth with that level of audience there. I've seen Arrival. I was less taken by it. I think aesthetically it was a very, very well done film. Definitely, yeah, cinematography and even art direction. I think has a possibility of getting nominated there. And sure, Amy Adams was great. Jeremy Renner I thought was actually really good too. But there is if you've seen the movie, you're going to know what I'm talking about here, but there's a very confusing aesthetic to that movie that if you don't catch it, you're lost. And, I pay attention during movies. I catch on little stuff, I saw The Accountant the same day and saw all of those twists, or almost all of them, coming by a mile. But this is one where I had to check Wikipedia and a couple other sources after the movie was over to figure out what the hell happened. To figure out the explanation for how everything went down in the last 30 minutes. And clearly, somebody like me, not to say, because I didn't get it, all of a sudden it's the worst movie of the year. No. Still, aesthetics, the first half is really entertaining and really, very well done filmmaking. And there's a tension and there's moments of awe that, bring back moments of, and recollections of E.T. and Close Encounters where you're like, God, you love the suspense, the knowing, not knowing the unknown and all that. And that's fun, but after a while you're like, put it down a little easier next time. And, clearly, if I have to check Wikipedia and all these other pages and stuff afterwards, clearly somebody did their job poorly somewhere, because that was something I think everybody was supposed to get and not everybody got. The theater I was with, the movie ended and everybody just kind of sat. They're just like, I don't get it. Nobody in the theater I was with and the audience I was with got it. I don't think anybody got it. That's going to be a struggle. If the Academy voters are in that same theater with me, that movie's out for Best Picture. No way. Still, aesthetically, and it has the prestige of a good, up and coming, big name director now behind it. Amy Adams in it. All these other factors that could save it and get it nominated still. But I think there's some stuff in there I think that could really turn some voters off. But at the same time, something like National Board of Review might love it. They might like La La Land. They might like the depressing beats of Manchester by the Sea. They might go for that. Um, Moonlight is very popular with that crowd there. And I know all these, people talking about how Trump's a racist and everything. If they want to make a statement, they might go for a movie about a homosexual African American at the centerpiece of a story. And that's one I am dying to see. That one though, Moonlight. I really want to see that one. It's the word of mouth on it, the reviews, the Oscar buzz. I want to figure out what everybody's talking about and see if it's any good. I'm sure it is, but yeah. Plus, I had Barry Jenkins and all these people get nominated for it. I hope it's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one. Of course, yeah, I'm dying to see La La Land, dying to see Manchester by the Sea. Really intrigued by Silence. Really want to see Jackie really bad. I don't know. That's a lot of these movies. They're going into limited release now, and they're not going to go wide until they're all on the same date in December there. So I'm gonna have to see like 8 movies back to back in order to catch them all. But anyways, yeah. But I have seen, like Hacksaw Ridge is one I have seen. That, yeah, that's the best war movie in years. That's one where the word of mouth is strong enough where that's I think has a shot of getting Best Picture for sure a nomination. But I don't know if it can go far enough for the win. But not everybody thought Braveheart would. Just saying. Yeah. Plus Mel Gibson's back. I mean, I've always, sure, personal stuff aside, I've always said Mel Gibson is a very talented filmmaker, and him, having to kind of recover from that, he's not utilizing his talent, and when talent is not utilized, no matter what you think of the person personally and what they do, that's it's a sin not to utilize that talent. Now, hopefully, some of his sins will be absolved as he makes a movie that everybody loves. And but yeah, I have a few friends that saw it, and they can't shut up about it. So yeah, I'm thinking that's. There's a shot that National Board of Review, goes with that, because a lot of those kids, they were younger when Braveheart came out and they grew up on the movie, so they like Mel Gibson a lot. So that I think is a possibility. Yeah, I'm not sure if they've seen Silence. I don't know if it's ready to be screened for them or not. I mean, sure, the producers are coming out and saying it's Scorsese's best movie and all that, but didn't the same thing happen with Joy last year and that tanked? So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then we've got also coming up, well, we've got the schedule pulled up here. I've got, we start getting into the regional awards in December there too. Regional awards are what I call, like when you get the New York Film Critics Circle, you've got LA, you've got Florida, Iowa, Ohio, Utah. You've got all these different states, in some smaller cities, every once in a while that, that give out awards too. So those are kind of fun to watch and see what they go with. We've got New York right away. New York has 2 actually. They've got the online as well. They've got their first one is just the New York Film Critics Circle, which occasionally goes with the more snobby choices. This is where somebody like Isabelle Huppert could win Best Actress or stuff like that. And I think the critics groups, they don't always go with the big sentimental movie, the big musicals. So I think, definitely Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight, Jackie, a few of those, bigger highbrow dramas have a better chance of winning there. Sure, they could still go with La La Land and stuff, but that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's probably going to go toward those dramas there. But then you get L.A. I don't have a date here, sorry, but I think L.A. is in the same week there or just after. And L.A. I can see totally going with La La Land. They might love it. I believe it's set in L.A. too, so that helps. Like I remember Nightcrawler did pretty well there a couple years ago, and I think half of it was this. First of all, half of it was it's a deserving movie. And then the other half was that it was set in L.A., so that really helped, I think. Then we get into Golden Globes and stuff and SAG Awards. So let's move on. Let's talk about some Golden Globes now. I'll try to keep this short. I know we've already gone on for half an hour here, and right away I'm just starting to feel really really bad. I'm sure my voice is going to go here, so let's keep going here. Okay, we'll start with let's just start at the top here with Best Film Drama. I have Manchester by the Sea, since La La Land is going to just dominate the comedy categories, comedy/musical categories. This has got to be Manchester by the Sea. I have Manchester in there, and then I have Fences, Silence, Jackie, and then I have Hacksaw Ridge getting in. Definitely a strong chance for Moonlight, which Moonlight, sure, it's going to have it has a lot of great critical reviews and all that, but I don't know if it's necessarily a movie that they're going to gravitate toward. Then again, I kind of thought the same thing about Carol, but that got the most nominations of any film last year, so I might be dead wrong about that one. Lion, Loving, Arrival, Sully in the mix there too. So that, for sure I think Fences and for sure Manchester by the Sea, but those other three, Silence I can see missing out. Jackie might miss out. Hacksaw Ridge is not a guarantee. So yeah, we'll see where that one goes. Okay, yeah, then for Best Film, Comedy, or Musical, I have La La Land in first, 20th Century Women in second, Rules Don't Apply in third, Florence Foster Jenkins in fourth, and The Lobster in fifth. That's, occasionally they go with a smaller little film that technically classifies as a comedy. Last year they did the opposite, though. They kind of went with the big movies like Spy and Trainwreck and those big summer films instead. But I think this is probably the one spot where Rules Don't Apply is going to score some big nominations. Otherwise, I think it might get left out of almost all the other races there. Then I've got Love and Friendship is going into the comedy category. Very smart move. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know if it's more of a drama or not. From the posters and stuff, it looks like more of a drama. But yeah, Deadpool has a shot. If Spy and Trainwreck can get in there, Deadpool, there's reasoning for that. Sing Street was a very very early favorite there, but I think buzz has dropped on that one. Hail Caesar. And then one that just premiered not too long ago at AFI was The Comedian, which got totally roasted by critics. Everybody hated it. Every once in a while, you get films like Salmon Fishing in the Yemen, which didn't get a whole lot of critical praise. That ended up with a Best Comedy Film nomination. Same goes with the Oscars with something like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, which all the critics thought was sappy and all that. Oscars went for it. Yeah, so just because you have pretty bad reviews or not so great reviews doesn't mean you're not going to get nominated anywhere. Okay, then Best Actor Drama, I have Denzel in first, Casey Affleck in second, Joel Edgerton in third. I have Tom Hanks getting in there for Sully, and then Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge. This is where I think Jake Gyllenhaal, he surprised us a couple years ago with Nightcrawler. Everybody's like, whoa, how did he get in there? And then he did it again with SAG. And then he did it again with Critics' Choice. Then he got in for BAFTA, and then he missed the Oscar. See what I mean? Yeah, that's another example where you're like, damn, they're getting it everywhere, and then all of a sudden they drop out. But yeah, I think Gyllenhaal for Nocturnal Animals, again, is alongside, I think, Michael Shannon, the strongest buzz for the movie. Then you've got Will Smith got in last year for Concussion. He's got one out this year called Collateral Beauty. I hate those trailers. Those trailers make the movie, there was an intriguing concept and a huge ensemble cast, which I think could have really been a really fun movie there, but then they go all sentimental Christmas Carol with that. The movie just looks like shit. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people are looking forward to it, but I'm not. Sorry. McConaughey for Gold is an outside possibility, and let's leave it there. Let's see, for Best Actress Drama, let's go with Natalie Portman in first for that one. Again, since Emma Stone, her biggest competition's over on the other side of the aisle for that one in the comedy category, we don't have to worry. Ruth Negga in second. I have Amy Adams in third for Arrival. Emily Blunt for The Girl on the Train in fourth. The Globes love Emily Blunt, so even though the movie, which I saw, I didn't really like it. But in all fairness, though, I've seen Emily Blunt do a lot of stuff recently, like Sicario, Into the Woods, and what was the one? Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. And when I watch those movies, I'm just seeing, oh, that's Emily Blunt. This was the first time, I think, in one of her performances where I'm like, damn, that's not Emily Blunt, that's Rachel, because she's so, I think that's her character name, because she's so different from her usual roles. So, that sounds like very high praise, and sure, she's really good in the movie, but the buzz on that movie just dropped off. Early on it looked like it might have a shot of getting into Best Picture, but no. Ever since, that's gone down significantly. I do have Jessica Chastain getting in for Miss Sloane as well. They love Jessica Chastain. For Most Violent Year she got in. One of the few places she got in that year. So they like her a lot. Isabelle Huppert for Elle is a possibility. If they stick, because like last year we had this whole thing with the Globes where they put Alicia Vikander and Rooney Mara in lead for their roles, even though they were going supporting at the Oscars and at a couple other award ceremonies. They kind of stuck to it and said, no, you're going lead. We've deemed you as lead. That could happen with Viola Davis, but I've heard kind of through the grapevine that Denzel, asked her. She said, "I kind of want to go supporting because I have a better shot. Look at what I'm going up against. I'm going up against Emma Stone and Natalie Portman, and maybe their two best roles of their careers so far. Yeah, put me in supporting. I've got Michelle Williams, and that's about it. with Naomi Harris is also a strong capability there. And so he kind of said, okay, let me cut a couple scenes out for you. So it doesn't look like, so we don't run into this problem, because Weinstein had, did they have both? No, Focus Features had the one of Vic Vikander won for, Danish Girl. But yeah, Weinstein, I think, learned their lesson there, because they dodged a bullet, because Kate Blanchett did get in for lead. She was, very easy pick there to get nominated. But then Rooney Mara was on the fringe of not getting nominated for that, but she ended up getting in. Same with Vikander. So, but yeah, if I haven't heard anything about the Globes saying nope, Viola's going lead. If she does go lead, I think she can easily beat Jessica Chastain or Emily Blunt just based on level of her performance. Again, that's off of word of mouth though. Did I say Isabelle Huppert yet? Yeah, I think she's a possibility. Let's see. I think those are Taraji P. Henson for Hidden Figures too, as possibilities there. Okay, moving over to the other side of the aisle again for comedy. Again, we're going to see La La Land here a lot. Like Ryan Gosling, I have winning for that one. I would really love to see him, though, swap out for the Nice Guys, which I rewatched that one a couple nights ago. God damn, he's great in that. Seriously, if I had it my way, without seeing La La Land at this point, maybe he's 10 times better in that. But he is just such a comedy tour de force in that. I mean, sure, they're going to have, since he's going to be competing against himself, you kind of have to take him out of the equation because they don't nominate you twice. So they've been putting all their money on Russell Crowe instead. And, I thought early on he had a small chance of getting in because Russell Crowe, he almost won 2 Oscars in a row, back in the day. But the competition's too stiff, man. Too stiff. Colin Farrell for The Lobster, I've heard, has some buzz to him. I haven't seen that one yet, so that's in second place. Ryan Reynolds in third for Deadpool. Don Cheadle for Miles Ahead, which I really want to see that one. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but that looked like that was going to be one of the year's best performances for sure, too. And I have Warren Beatty getting in there for Rules Don't Apply. He's going lead. Don't understand why, because I heard he doesn't show up until half an hour into the goddamn movie. Egotistical prick. I don't mean that. I'm looking forward to seeing Rules Don't Apply. I'm sure Warren is terrific in that. De Niro, he frequently he doesn't miss out when he's got a sizable role. This could be one for the comedian. Alden Ehrenreich for Rules Don't Apply could get in there. And last year they went with weird choices like Mark Ruffalo for Infinitely Polar Bear, which nobody had seen, or Al Pacino for the Danny Collins movie, which again not very many people had seen. One that didn't get a huge buzz this year, didn't get a huge critical or box office reaction, was Captain Fantastic. And Viggo Mortensen has been doing a little touring. He's been doing a little campaigning out there. He might get in for one of those slots. Okay, we'll move over now to actress in a comedy. I have Emma Stone in first for La La Land. Florence Foster Jenkins in second place. That's going to be, of course, the street monster, Meryl Streep. Annette Bening I have in third for 20th Century Women. Sally Field in fourth for Hello, My Name is Doris. And in fifth place, I'm going with a gamble here. Haley Steinfeld in Edge of 17. This is a movie that just came out not too long ago. I saw it. It's in my top 3 films of the year. If you've been watching my channel for the last couple of years, I am kind of a sucker for coming-of-age movies. Spectacular Now I thought was the best movie of 2013. Last year, the best movie of the year I thought was Mistress America, which is kind of coming of age. This one hit all the buttons for me. And she, if freaking Mark Ruffalo can get in last year, Haley Steinfeld can get in this year. She is fantastic in the movie. I haven't been following her career, but I remember after True Grit, I'm like, damn, I want to see where she goes as an actress, because if she has this much talent now, imagine what she's going to be when she's 20, 30 years old. She turns 20, or she's about to turn 20, or maybe she is 20. I don't know her age. But at 20, she was completely different. And like I said, I haven't followed her career specifically, and this is probably the first film besides what was the one she did with Ruffalo? Begin Again, a couple years ago. Yeah, it was nice to see her in that. Nice to see her in supporting roles like the Pitch Perfect movies and stuff. But this is one where I'm like, she gets that level of true grit performance again in this one, and she doesn't let it off for a minute. That's a fantastic role, fantastic performance. That's one I'm afraid it's going to get overshadowed in favor of bigger names out there. But that's one she should get nominated, at least for this, in this category here. Again, I don't see her getting in at the Oscars. I don't see her getting in anywhere else except maybe like an independent film awards. And she even missed out on Indie Spirits. I don't know if the film was eligible or not, but yeah, that's one where I'm going with a gut choice there. It might pay off, but I might look like an idiot. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, so Kate Beckinsale for Love and Friendship has quite a campaign going. Renee Zellweger for the Bridget Jones Baby movie. Lily Collins for Rules Don't Apply. Are a couple other possibilities there. Okay, we'll move on now to supporting races. For supporting actor, I have Jeff Bridges in first. They usually go, sure they have exceptions like Jared Leto a couple years ago, or J.K. Simmons, where they'll go with somebody who seems like an early Oscar winner there. But like last year with Sylvester Stallone, or they've gone with bigger names before. So I think Jeff Bridges and then Liam Neeson I have cleared out in fourth place, but they haven't given him an award yet. He might win. And then I have Mahershala Ali for Moonlight in second, with Lucas Hedges in there for third for Manchester by the Sea. I still have Steve Martin in there for Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, but I could easily throw him out now. Yeah, he's not getting nominated for that performance there, at least at the Oscars. Dev Patel is going supporting for Lion, so he might get a shot here. Michael Shannon again for Nocturnal Animals. And then, Stephen Henderson for Fences, maybe, but yeah, we'll see where that one goes. Supporting actress, I do have Viola getting in here, so she's the number one contender there. Then I have Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea, Naomi Harris for Moonlight in third, again Nicole Kidman for Lion, and in fifth place I am putting in Kristen Stewart for Billy Lynn, again maybe just because of the star power factor. I do have Greta Gerwig and Elle Fanning both for 20th Century Women as a possibility, and then Felicity Jones has a little bit of buzz to her with the Monster Calls movie, so that could get a couple nominations there. Then for Best Director, I have Damien Chazelle in first for La La Land, Kenneth Lonergan in second for Manchester by the Sea, Martin Scorsese for Silence in third, Denzel for Fences in fourth, and hello, Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge in fifth place. I'm putting him in there. Again, they might, they went with George Miller for Best Director last year for at least a nominee. At that rate, he was not in the Best Director hunt. Not really. He was an outside shot. Some people said, yeah, it'd be nice if he got nominated. Boom, he landed there. Mel Gibson might do it. Somebody who needs a comeback. He was on their stage last year, had the biggest laugh of the last award show with him and Ricky Gervais going back and forth. I think they'll remember that. I think they'll say he did a fantastic job with this movie. Let's put him in. Yes, I have as alternates there Billy Lynn, Long Halftime Walk for Ang Lee, Barry Jenkins for Moonlight, Pablo Larraín for Jackie, and Jeff Nichols for Loving are some alternates there. Okay, and they also have a screenplay category at the Globes there. I think Manchester by the Sea will win this one. La La Land will come in second. Moonlight in third, Fences in fourth, and I have Jackie in there for fifth. But there's a couple other possibilities. 20th Century Women could get that slot. Lion could get that slot. Silence, Nocturnal Animals, Live by Night even has a small chance of getting in there. So that's one where, I'm not going to be totally shocked if Jackie misses out on that one. Because I think I had Bridge of Spies in there, which not a whole lot of people were with me on that one last year getting in. That didn't end up making it, but yeah, we'll see there. And then let's see, for animated feature, I think, again, that'll be, I have a Zootopia out front there, followed by, I think I put Moana in second there, because it is more recent, and I think it'll win probably the best song category if La La Land doesn't make it there. Then Finding Dory, then Cuba and the Two Strings, and I think I put in, did I put in Sing? I think Sing has a possibility, Secret Life of Pets. They usually don't go for the foreign animated here at the Globes. It has happened before, but I'm not going to put my money on it this time. I think that's the way it's going to go here. I don't know. Should we call that good? We can do a count next time as far as who's getting nominated for what, and especially since I have some oddball choices here and there for what's going to get in. We'll see what happens there. But I think La La Land is going to have, I think I counted 12 nominations at one point. Silence will be about 12. Jackie will have about 10. Manchester's looking at 5 or 6. Moonlight's looking about at 4 or 5. Uh, let's see what else. Hacksaw Ridge, I think, got 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere in there. Arrival had 2 or 3. Loving had 3. So yeah, there's kind of an odd mix there. Like last year, Brooklyn and Room only had 3 and 4 nominations. Then you have stuff like Mad Max getting 10 and Revenant getting 12, I think it was. So yeah, you'll have that mix again this year. It won't be just 10 10 10 9 9 9. Like it has been known to happen in more previous years since they've gone to that 5 to 10 rule. So yeah, we'll see what happens from here. It's not late December. It's late November, so there's still room to fudge around some stuff on the picks for who's gonna get in, for who's early front runners and all that. But yeah, since the festival circuit is over, we've seen like Collateral Beauty missed it. Passengers is another one that missed it. What was the other big contender? Fences didn't screen at any festivals, though it has started screening for the industry and for some critics. Same goes for Live by Night or Live by Night. I keep doing that. I thought it was going to be Live by Night for years, but it's or Live by Night for years, but then it turns out to be Live by Night. Okay, whatever. So yeah, there's some stuff out there which hasn't officially screened yet for critics, and we don't have reviews on it yet. But there's other ones, where we'll get those soon, and they have screened for industry, so there's already some word of mouth. So yeah, there's like I said, there's possibilities still out there, and La La Land could still lose this thing. I mean, we don't know if it'll have the steam that it has right now in a couple of months. Something else could come up, Like last year, at this rate, we were all saying Spotlight, 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 except for me, I was saying Joy still to this point, and then then Spotlight I had in there, and then I was like, crap, what about the Revenant? And then Revenant took over. That got all the momentum after the Globes and DGA and all that stuff, and I went off the cliff with Leo on that one. But yeah, we'll see what happens this year. We'll see. Yeah, maybe Manchester gets a lot of support after the critics. It could win. Maybe if La La Land doesn't go for the Critics' Choice Awards, they could go with Manchester. They could go with Moonlight. They might go with some of these smaller films. We don't know. We just don't know. All right. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, I'm feeling a little better too.